thought it sucked. I thought the song was horrible, and I couldn't believe she thought she was going to get a #1 hit out of any of those songs.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, welcome to my beauty entertainment channel. Absolutely. So if you would like to follow me on social media, here is my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun, enjoy yourself on there. And while you're here, you can check out some of my recent videos, which should be on your screen about now. I posted a couple days ago the 7th part of my Sims Let's Play series. I don't want to talk about the audio. It is what it is. I'm gonna fix it for the next one, but I was led astray as well, and I don't want to talk about it. And before that, I posted a video talking about, I think, Invincible. Invincible was right before that, and then before that I posted the second part of me talking about Degrassi. So super fun. So today I want to talk shit about makeup, because I have to pack up the makeup that I have here and take it home. And I was like looking at stuff that's like kind of old, and I'm like, I want to talk about the worst makeup from every brand. Well, the relevant brands. I'm not going to do every single brand to ever exist because I don't have time for that. But I've seen this video, like a couple of people that I are subscribed to do videos like this, and I'm like, I want to join because I want to talk shit about brands. So that's what I'm here to do. We're going to be talking about what I think the worst product from each of these brands are. If you want to watch somebody who agrees with your opinion on everything, you can buy a camera and make your own YouTube video. But this is my opinion. All right. I'm very excited. Some of these I've talked about before, how I hate these products, but I'm passionate about makeup, so I can talk about hating a product 6 times if I really want to. So let's get started. So the first brand, we're starting off hot. The first brand that I would like to discuss and I would like to ask questions towards is Urban Decay. So Urban Decay, I have many things to choose from. If talking about poor quality things from Urban Decay, this is no shade, this is my experience. I've tried many just okay things from Urban Decay, so I'm not going to talk about it just okay. Some just okay things from Urban Decay. That Naked Skin Concealer was just okay to me. Any of their skin products have been just okay to me. You know what Urban Decay did do for me? That highlighter, that, you know what I'm talking about, that body highlighter that came in like that square like compartment packaging that was like just glitter, straight up glitter, saved my cheerleading career. Only highlighter I used during my whole cheerleading career, so I will give them props for that. But the worst product I'm gonna say came from Urban Decay is this travesty right here. So this is the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. I think I've talked about this 3 times on this channel before, and I'm gonna talk about it again. I've never been more disrespected in my life. You know when you have no faith in something, yet it disappoints you anyway. The second I heard Urban Decay, we were all like, we don't know how that's gonna go, but you don't think it could ever possibly go this badly. And I would just like to point to Urban Decay and see what happens when you act foolish. Has your brand done anything successfully since this launch? No. Maybe this was a sign of the future. Maybe they wanted to shift the brand in a new failing direction. You know what? I'm not a marketing manager. Maybe this is what they wanted. We need to try something else, because ever since this launch, it has been down fucking hill. It wasn't really going too well for Urban Decay at this time when this came out, but this just really nailed it in the coffin. Because how do you fuck this up so badly? How do you fuck this up so badly? First of all, let's start. The eyeshadow palette. Are we 12? Giving Justice, giving Claire's. Why a grown adult? First of all, no, it's grown adults who watch Game of Thrones, right? And it's grown adults who are putting on makeup from Game of Thrones. So why would you give us a palette that looks like, you know, those like variety pack sets you buy in like TJ Maxx for like 12-year-olds? This is what it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and it's rude. You could have gone with quads. If you wanted the different houses so badly, you could have made separate quads. But no, you have to put them all together in this bulky ass packaging. And then remember how like it's like a book, so it opens up and shows you the Iron Throne. Who cares? Who cares? I can't sit on that. I can't sit on that. A Barbie doll can't sit on that. Nothing. If I put my finger on it, it breaks and it's over. So why make it? It's supposed to be cool. Well, it's not. So what are we going to do about that? Nothing was done. And then the eyeshadow palette is, the colors are bad. The colors are bad. The colors are all bad. The Bay of Dread, the Targaryen, that's horrific. The other three we could ignore that. Let me actually be positive and ignore the first three. But the last Targaryen section, they didn't even try. They didn't even try, and I took offense to it. Then we move on to Urban Decay hates black people because you make a face palette and I can't use it. So that's fine. I don't need to use your products anyway. And then they released a cheek stain in the year 2019. I don't know what response I'm supposed to give other than this collection for Urban Decay. Like, the Urban Decay has had some duds, but like this was something, they took it to a different level. How do you flop harder than before? I guess no one had hit rock bottom yet. Now, not now, I have nothing else to say. Those lipsticks were cute. I'm not buying a lipstick from Urban Decay though. Not in this lifetime. Not in this past lifetime. I think I looked at it and I wanted to actually buy, because I was like, Amanda, I wanted to buy this dark blue, one of the pencil eyeliners, which I think is the only good product in this collection. Then I was like, no, you actually don't want that. You just want blue eyeliner. Go find blue eyeliner that doesn't cost $25. Which I did. But this is what I'm giving for the worst product from this brand. I think anyone who should be was involved in this should be fired. I hope they already were. They should not still be working at your brand, but it would make sense if they still were working at your brand. Because remember that Naked palette that just came out that made, it made less than no noise. Because the only reason I remember it is because I talked about it in a new release. It was like green and half of it was decent and the other half was terrible. No noise. Less than no noise. I didn't even see a review of it once. That's what y'all get. Get it together. Next brand. I talked about that for too long. Next brand that I'll talk about is Nars. So this again is my response. I have two products. The first I talked about before. That Radiant Creamy Concealer is ass. Maybe, all right. I like to give the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not trash. My primary issue with that concealer is the applicator. First of all, the product only gets released, so it's like a doe foot, kind of. The product only gets put on the tip of the doe foot. What am I doing with a dollop of concealer? What am I doing with dots of concealer? This is not Glossier. What am I doing with the dollops of concealer? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I also thought the product was kind of average. Like, when I had to keep dipping back into the tube to get concealer and I then eventually blended it out, I was like, it's not giving. It's not giving at all. And no, I don't like that. But I talked about that before. The second product from Nars, which is Nars has done so many things well. Most of their, like, my favorite foundation ever is from Nars. It's the Natural Radiant Longwear. They make really good blushes, you know. They still don't think dark skin people exist with their bronzers, but you know, whatever. This foundation, this is the All Day Luminous Foundation. It is like basically putting canola oil on your face. I don't know who, I don't know who this is for, actually, because I think when I read it, it was like, this is meant for oily skin. That's because when I use this foundation, I had way oilier skin then. And I put it on and I was like, this is oil. How is this for oily skin if this feels like oil? It felt like I was putting vegetable oil on my face. Didn't work. Bad, looked terrible, and it's still the same product since when I tried it, so I'm gonna assume it's still terrible now. That's what I'm gonna go with. Those are my two products from Nars. My next brand is Too Faced. So for Too Faced, I'm gonna just say any eyeshadow palette, any of them. I bought the only Too Faced eyeshadow palette that I've actually purchased with a chocolate bar palette, and it didn't show up on my skin, so I gave it to my friend who was lighter than me. But that was terrible. It was terrible. That's not actually my answer for this question. My answer for this question is actually that Born This Way foundation. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I couldn't use it. I couldn't use the foundation because there was no shade for me. And then Jackie Anna did her shade extensions and I found my shade and it was a beautiful shade. Hated the foundation. It didn't work. It didn't look good. It didn't look good. It didn't last. It lasted maybe 30 minutes on my face and then it said goodbye, we're checking out. And no, it didn't look, especially it did not look good. So that's my answer for worst product from Too Faced. But actually, their eyeshadow palettes are worse than their face products. Their best product is this concealer that I have. What is this? It's a Born This Way This is their best product. They will never top this. It's not possible. I don't even understand how Too Faced made this because it doesn't make sense with their behavior pattern that they would make something that's just this good. I think this was a fluke. It doesn't make sense that came from their brand. Next brand is Morphe. You know my answer to this. It's this fucking sponge. Why would you sell rocks to children? Let's actually discuss how this may have been one of Morphe's worst. Morphe did a lot of bad things, a lot of false marketing, lots of false promotion, lots of lying to the consumer. But this may have been the worst because I don't know what you guys told these influencers or how much you paid these influencers to lie out the side of their neck. But you all are going, no, this is really sinister because was there money? Did Morphe lose money before coming out with this sponge they had to make back? Because I would like someone to explain to me how every single influencer, big one at the time, got on YouTube and said this sponge will change your life. And because I think I was like 17 when this came out, I'm like, okay, it's a rock. It's a rock without water. You add water, it's still a rock. That defies physics. That defies chemistry principles, actually, if we really want to get into that defies some things that I don't want to explain. How is it that when I add water, it still feels like a boulder? And then how this Morphe, don't ever buy the sponge. So when you buy it and you put water in it, so you're supposed to like leave the sponge out so it's not like soaking wet when you put the foundation on. No, that sponge is never not going to be soaking wet. You put water in that sponge, it's over. You're mopping your face. You're mopping your face with a wet boulder. You're mopping your face with a wet moon rock. It makes no sense, and I want you guys, I need them to explain this one. There's a couple products of here that I need statements from the brand explaining why this was ever a thing. This is one of them. Why would you sell that? What, take it off? Do they still sell it? I think it's a hazard. I think a wet rock on your face has to be some sort of like a hazard. Could you think it could cause like bruising on the skin? Because I might be exaggerating this, I haven't used it in 2 years, but I felt like pressure. You shouldn't feel that from a sponge. Also, they were like, okay, so this like, it's really thick at the top and then it goes into a straight edge. Like this straight edge is so good for going like here. And I'm like, you could just use a brush for that. Or why do you don't know how to make a straight line with you get this? That's weird. Also, they were like, so the bottom part was the selling part. Like that straight edge is really good for cleaning. That's when we used to all like clean up our contour like excessively. But then I was like, what about the other half of the sponge? The other half of the sponge is fat as shit. It is so fat. You can't put it anywhere. Good luck. You're not blending out with your concealer with that sponge because you're gonna get your concealer from here up to here because the sponge is so fat and juicy and thick. That was really, really, really dark-sided. Let's move on. Next brand is Maybelline. I think this is unpopular. My bad. My answer for the worst product from Maybelline. I've tried. Maybelline was back in my early makeup days. I don't really use them anymore. Don't think so. But my answer for worst product from Maybelline. Again, I tried this product. This was 4 years ago. Wow, I'm old. 4 years ago now. Their Fit Me powder, no, can't, no, 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 no. Didn't work, didn't work, and didn't even want to work with me. So let me explain to you what happened. I put my foundation on, I put my concealer on, I was using the Fit Me powder as setting powder under my eyes. So I took, back then I used a beauty blender to apply my powder. I dipped it in the powder, I put it underneath my eye, and the powder like sat right here and sort of shrunk. It looked stupid. I looked stupid. I looked like I had put cake right here, and I was like, maybe it was the application. I tried with the brush, same shit. Sponge, same shit. I just threw it away. I think that powder is terrible for me. I know it works for like literally everyone else. That's why I bought it. It was terrible for me. And I was really excited because I was like, okay, this was back at the time. It had a lot of shades for like a powder. So I was excited. Let's all, Maybelline, come to the table. In your CVS's, why don't you sell all these shades? Maybelline, NYX does this too. So when you go into a CVS, this shade 40 is not there. I had to go to a Walmart to try and find the shades 35 and 40 back when I wanted to buy this because they did not have it at my local CVS. They only had the shades for the Vanilla Vermin. It was ridiculous. So Maybelline needs to answer for that crime as well. And secondly, answer for the crime of why this powder was so bad. Answer for the crime why this powder was so bad and why it clung to everything on my face. I had patches of just powder, and then when I tried to like dust it off, the excess, it took off all the makeup on my skin. I want an answer. I also want an answer as to why you hate black people. Why don't you sell all your shades in every single store? Because Maybelline Baby Girl has a humongous section, and y'all, those blushes have not been moving since 2014. You can get rid of the blush section since nobody's buying that shit anyway, and put the last 2 remaining shades of your Fit Me powder on the shelves. But I digress. Next brand. Okay, next brand is NYX. So my answer for this is the Total Drop Foundation. Recently, I've learned they have reformulated that foundation. So I'm not talking about the new formula, I'm talking about the old formula. I tried it, again, giving canola oil on my face. It didn't look good at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like the application. I didn't like the drop thing. Hated that. Hated that. It didn't blend out to look good at all. My shade was like, I was in between shades. It was too chaotic. And that Total Drop foundation came out at a time where I already had a really good foundation. So I was like, why would I suffer? Mixing foundations is not suffering, but like it's a little bit more work. And I don't want to always have to do that because I should have a chance to live freely, right? So I stopped using this shit. They reformulated it, so maybe it's good now. Do I want to try it again? No. 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 But my second answer for NYX, I think the butter glosses are overhyped. The shade, the colors. NYX has colors down. They know what they're doing with the shades, with the colors. I don't like the formulation of the butter glosses. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I got a dud one. But I hated that formulation so much. It didn't last. And I was like, where did my lip gloss go? Didn't like that. Also, bring back the real cinnamon roll. Imposters in our mix. I don't like that. Isn't that a felony? Impostering? That's not the verb. Impersonating? That's a felony. Whatever. Next product is next brand is Kat Von D. It's the foundation, the original foundation. I had oily skin. It was too much. I was too mad. Not saying it's a terrible product, but I'm giving it the worst product because it just didn't work for me. It does what it says it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be like tattoo coverage, full coverage, super matte. Does all that. That doesn't work for everyone though. However, I liked the concealer that Kat Von D came out with. It was in like a squeezy tube at first, and then she put it into the little wand thing. I liked both of those concealers. That was really good. But the foundation, it was too much. Too much matte, too much spackle, I couldn't breathe. Wasn't working for me. So that's Kat Von D. Okay, next brand is Glossier. I have multiple answers for this. No, actually, let's give it to the classic. My answer for the worst product from Glossier is their Wowder. No, I'm not gonna stop bringing it up until I get a statement from the team. What did you guys do? It didn't work, but I would like to hear an explanation of how it was supposed to work. Were we supposed to feel left out enough by a YouTuber bringing a product into a video and being like, I can't tell you what it is? Was that supposed to like get us to buy it off immediately? I did buy it, so maybe it did work. I also was a child, so you got money from a child. Congratulations. It was bad. It was bad. Okay, now they have all these shades. They did not have all these shades before. It was like a translucent, and then it was a deep. So I got the deep. The deep was dark. It was a foundation shade, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to use underneath my eyes? Nothing. Nothing for the darkies. Now they have more shades. I won't be purchasing from Glossier ever again, actually. So good for you. Can try that if you want to. The formulation was terrible. It was bad. It wasn't, I don't even know if it was bad, but it was not anything to write home about, especially with the setting powders that were out at the time. If you're not gonna come harder than Laura Mercier, might as well give it up. Might as well give it up. And I think this was either right before or right after Patrick Starr's MAC powder like came out for the first time. So really, flop. It was a flop from the jump. And then you add in that horrible marketing strategy. Tragic. But you know, I don't even, it was so, and it came with this brush thing, I remember. So I put the powder here and it was darker than my skin. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna use it as like a face thing, because it was darker than the concealer that I put on my eyes. Still looked weird, and that brush started shedding. Boo! Answer for your crime, Glossier. Next brand is Colourpop. So my answer, I have two answers for this Colourpop answer. Oh no, wait. This is the Wowder. The Wowder I think only has the same 3 shades left. Don't buy that shit. Next brand I'm doing is Colourpop. My first answer is their setting powder. If you put baby powder and baking soda in a blender, that's what this powder. Don't ever buy face products from Colourpop. Their only thing that was halfway decent is the no filter concealer. Everything else stay very far away from. This shit also smelled like baking soda. Did you guys put baking soda in this? I wouldn't be surprised. But this setting powder was absolutely terrible. But it's not even their worst product. I'm gonna give the worst product from Colourpop to any and all of their brow products, except the brow wax, which is pretty decent. Any and all brow products. I want you to imagine for this, so this is a brow pencil. Pencils are supposed to have tips, right? A pencil is supposed to have a very fine point tip so you can draw with it, right? No. Imagine being handed a jumbo crayon and being told to make brows with it. That's what this was. You know, like jumbo chalk, like what you would draw on the sidewalk with? Imagine that, but for your brows. And then they're like, make brows with that. And I did, because I didn't know any better. I want them to pay for what my makeup looked like at the time when I was using this. Terrible. It is not fine. It's possibly the dullest tip on the fucking market. It's literally flat. It's a circle. It's a cylinder. The tip of this pencil. It's literally a cylinder. When you draw, it gives you the effect of a pomade, but in pencil form. It is terrible. Like, that's derogatory. Giving you a pomade look in pencil form, and it doesn't work. It's bad. It's bad. And you can't even like sharpen the tip at all. You just have to deal with rubbing a cylinder on your very fine hair. Whatever. Next brand is actually Benefit. So where do I begin? I could pretty much put any Benefit products here that's not their brow products. That's the only thing that I still actively use from Benefit because their brow products are amazing. They're amazing. But I think I'm gonna give it to the Hoola bronzer, basically because you guys hyped up a bronzer that was the size of a postage stamp and were like dead serious about it for years. For how many years? 6? And we're dead serious about it. This bronzer will change it. It's the size of a quarter. And then no darkies allowed. I don't need that. It took y'all 6 years to make a Hoola Toasted. And that can't even be used on the darkest of people. Benefit, something, it's giving. So I'm gonna put Hoola bronzer. I'm sure, I've heard the formula is actually amazing on the Hoola bronzer, but I'm just gonna I'm putting it as its worst product because I can't use it. It's very, very, very small, and I'm upset about it. Benefit, this bronzer was popular for I don't know, I have to look this up. 4 or 5 years before they actually made the toast. They made a toasted shade and they made a Hoola light, like a lighter version, of course, because they had 4 or 5 years. The bronzer was the most popular bronzer on Sephora at all times, and it took them 4 or 5 years to make a darker version. That's why your products suck. And next brand I'm actually going to talk about is Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have 2 responses for this one as well. So the first one for eyeshadow, I'm going to say the Carly Bible palette. I don't know where it is right now. I'm pretty sure I own it. I can't use it. I can use those shimmers, but I can't use anything else in the palette. So like, their IBH's eyeshadow palettes had always been decent at making sure everyone could use them, and then they just said no. Full paper bag test for this one. So this is their worst eyeshadow palette in my opinion. I can't, this is a self-sabotage palette. But my overall product, but I'm gonna say it's Anastasia Beverly Hills' worst product, is that foundation stick. Do you remember the foundation stick? It was awful. It was, I do have a gripe with foundation sticks in general, but this was the worst one I'd ever fucking tried. Every issue I have with foundation sticks was heightened. Somehow they put oil in stick form. I don't know how you do that, but you put it on all over your face. It was terrible. It was terrible. I actually think, because people talked badly about their liquid foundation, I loved their liquid foundation. I really, really liked that, but I know a lot of people didn't. This is the real culprit of the problem. This is we need to focus our attention on this foundation, because it was terrible. However, they had a lot of shade. The stick foundation, when it first came out, it was a lot. Like, it was a lot for the time. And I was able to I was able to buy a foundation shade and a contour shade and a highlight shade. I could not do that in a lot of stick foundation shade ranges at that time. So that's why I bought like 4 of these stick foundations, because I was like, whoa, I can buy a foundation shade and a contour shade and a highlight shade and like a bronzing shade. The product was terrible, but I'll give them their 10s for that, including dark-skinned people. Anyway, next brand is actually Milk Makeup. I do have an answer for this. I'm sorry guys, I hated that skin tint it literally just came out a couple months ago. I hated that. I am biased against skin tints, I am, but I hated that skin tint. First of all, I hate rollerball applications. I know it might. Is that more convenient? I want to ask people who don't do makeup. Is taking, it's up, I'm not reaching up there. It's like a roller ball, like you use for perfume. Is that more convenient than just putting it on the back of your hand? Like, how much time are you really saving? I don't think you're saving anything, and I don't like the way the makeup the product gets stuck in there, but that's not even my biggest gripe. The formulation is, I don't know. No. I put it on, I looked greasy as fuck, and then I did the rest of my makeup. Like, you can't just judge it off the bat sometimes. I should have just judged it off the bat. So I tried to put my powder down. It still looked disastrous. And then I wore it just inside my house for like, I didn't leave my house for like 3 hours, and it looked like I had gone and ran a marathon. So sorry, I hated it. And I'm gonna put that as the worst product. I'm gonna have to go with that. I have not tried any other foundations from not Melt, this is Milk. I have not tried any of them. So maybe I'll find one that I like better. But that skin tint, I don't know if you guys were lying or if it just didn't work for me. Maybe a little bit of both. Okay, next brand is Melt Cosmetics. So my answer for this is the Rust palette. I don't know, I should like this palette, and that's the reason why I bought it, is because I should like it. It's a plain, warm, neutral brown palette. Maybe I got a dud. That's totally possible, but the one that I got it first day I did my makeup look. The first day, it looked terrible. The colors blended into nothing. The darkest browns disappeared on my eyes. I was shocked because Melt eyeshadows never do that. But I was like, why are these neutral browns doing that? Then Melt's like bright blues don't even do that on me. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I tried it with different primers. Still, nothing worked with this palette. Nothing worked. And then it broke. I didn't even drop it. I put it in my little drawer thing and come back the next day, it's broken. So I have a bone to pick with that. So I don't know if I got a bad one, because I should like this color scheme, but it did not work on my eyes at all. It did not show up, and I hated it. Next brand is actually Fenty Beauty. I have 3 answers. I like most Fenty Beauty's products. These are my 3 answers for her worst. The first one are the snap shadows, but you guys knew that. They're not terrible. It's just me, someone who's been doing makeup for a long time, been doing eyeshadow for a long time. Why would I buy those? Why would I reach for those, which is like an average formula, instead of just going for an eyeshadow palette that I know is going to perform much better? It was like a really cute concept. I just want us to maybe put eyeshadow on the back burner for a little bit until we figure out a amazing formulation. That's my advice as a health and human sciences major. That's my advice. My second answer is the cream blushes. Stop lying to the audience. Terrible all around. Terrible all around. Not only were they miniature and everyone tried to justify selling cream blushes the size of a dime. That was weird. That was a weird time. Not only that, half of these colors don't show up. That orange is not an orange, it's a highlighter, babes, if you have dark skin. That's a highlighter. Even like the bright red that I bought, like, no. I might be spoiled with Rare Beauty's liquid blushes, but like, no. This was bad. And I tried it in every situation. No makeup, full beat, no. Bad all around. And then my last answer for Fenty Beauty's worst product is their original foundation. Let me change my answer. I like their original foundation for the sole purpose of mixing it with a different foundation. The wear time on the Fenty's original foundation is amazing, and that's why I mix it in with a lot of my foundations that don't have the best wear time. And it gives this blurring finish, all the Fenty products do, that I really like. However, by itself, terrible. Oxidizes like a bitch. It's too perfect. if that makes sense. It's too perfect, and it's just like soft matte, so I don't even get my shine through. That can kind of like distract from it being too perfect, make your skin look more real. I just don't like the way it looks. I don't like the finish, but I like it in conjunction with other products. It looks so good as a mixer. So the only reason I still own the product is because I use it as a mixer with my other foundations. I would throw it away. I didn't even like the Dewy foundation that much. I thought that was actually kind of awful. So I'm gonna put both foundations in this worst products list. They have so many better products than the foundations. The skin tint is better than both the foundations, and that is a crazy statement that I just made, but it is completely true. Okay, last brand. I was just in Sephora. That's why I have an answer for this last. The last brand is Huda Beauty. I go into Sephora just to buy some stuff, and I'm like at the Huda Beauty little kiosk thing, and I'm like, this setting spray, I've heard so much about it, I want to actually smell it for myself. So I was like, people exaggerate on the internet, and I needed a setting spray. I just bought the all-nighter, so I've been using that one for a while, but I wanted to try a different one for once, you know, try something new. What happens when you try things new? You get disappointed or angry, and I was both. So I sprayed the setting spray just in the air. I had an N95 mask on. N95 mask on. I sprayed the setting spray in the air, gagging. I was gagging. Whole N95 mask on. Sprayed it away from me, gagging. That's not safe. I'm not a health inspector. I don't work for the FDA. You shouldn't be putting that on your face. It smelled worse than hairspray. Than real hairspray. It smelled like death and flowers, so if you like that scent, have fun. If you can get over that scent, you won't. You won't. You won't. I don't even know if the product is I don't know if it's a really long lasting setting spray. I will never find out because I'm not spraying that on my face. Just like I would never buy skincare from Morphe, I'm not putting a scented, like a florally death scented setting spray on my face. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem safe to me. I was gagging in an N95 mask with it sprayed away from me. That's not going on my face. Also, just that flammable ass setting spray. No. So that's my answer for Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty actually has a lot of really good products. My favorite is their stick foundation. That's the only stick foundation that I like now. And I like their powder. But that was... Let's try again, because we've tried again with the original foundation. I think she took away the scent from that. Let's try this again, because maybe Huda Beauty has the most long-lasting setting spray on the market. I will never find out until that scent goes away. Can we try again? Because I love to try it. Can we try again? They won't. That product is over, but it's fine. So yeah, that's in my video. Those are what I think all the worst products are from the most relevant brands that I have right now. Let me know what I actually am very interested to hear what you guys think the worst products are from these brands, because I could have had different answers. I could have had some different answers actually, but I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear how unpopular some of these were. Sorry if I came from your favorite product. Sorry. Maybe you in the comments will come from my favorite product. That's okay. We all are allowed to coexist and live peacefully together with differing opinions. So yeah, it's in my video. If you would like to social media, if you would like to follow me on social media, here's my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun, enjoy yourself on there. And while you're here, check out some of my recent videos, which should be on your screen right about now. Super, super, super fun. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying healthy and safe inside your home, best you can, doing whatever, you know. Congratulations to everyone who graduated. We did it. Give yourself more credit, because no one else has graduated after spending a year and a half in college during a pandemic. No one else on earth has done that. So I want you to give yourself more credit. We should give ourselves more credit, because nobody else could do it. We were the guinea pigs of the world. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.